Welcome everyone to English Supplement. Today we have adverbs of frequency. How often do you go to work? How often do you study English? How often do you go to the gym? How we talk about these kinds of things, we use a specific adverb to suggest how often we go and do these. And we call these adverbs of frequency. And in order to teach these, what we're going to do is we're going to put up a line. And at the top of the line, we'll put 100%. And at the bottom of the line, we'll put 0%. Now at the top of the line, we use the word always. Always implies that 100% of the time you do something. Like go to school, go to work. At the bottom of the line, we have 0%. Never do something. And we use the word never. Now, starting from the bottom and going up, we have rarely, 20% of the time. Next, we have seldom, maybe 30% of the time. Occasionally, 40% of the time. Sometimes, 50% of the time. Often, maybe 60% of the time. Frequently, 70% of the time. Normally, 80% of the time. Usually, 90% of the time. So these numbers, they're general, they're not absolute, but this is our list of how often we do things. So we'll go through them and I'll give an example from my daily life and my daily routine about how often I do some of these. So from the top, I always take a shower in the morning. 100% all the time. I like to be clean. I usually drink coffee before work. Much of the time, but 90% of the time, I would say I drink coffee before I go to work. I normally wash my clothes on the weekends. That's when I have time. During the week, I'm pretty busy. I frequently go to the gym. 3-4 times a week if I'm feeling ambitious. I often eat dinner with my family. We live in 2 different houses, so I drive across town to go and see them often. I sometimes go out to a restaurant. So about 50-50. Most of the time I eat in, sometimes I go out to eat. Occasionally, getting down to the lower end of less frequency, occasionally I go to the movies. Most of the time I watch movies on TV when I have the time. But occasionally I will go to the movies, go to the cinema, go to the theater. I seldom eat sushi, raw fish. I live in the desert, so there's no sea very close to me. So it's hard to find good sushi, and when you do, it's very expensive. I rarely take a vacation. Maybe 1 per year? Maybe, but rarely. I hardly ever I hardly ever stay up past midnight. I'm getting old these days. I don't stay up past midnight much. I get up very early, but I don't stay up very late. And I never listen to country music. Country music is pretty big. Not for me. I'm not interested in country music. For other people, sure, no problem. For me, that's not my thing. Now, something to notice, many of these adverbs end with the letters ly. And that's a good tip if you're ever confused on what part of speech a word is. If it ends in ly, sometimes, or maybe a little more than sometimes, often, it can be attributed to being an adverb. And notice the placement, too, of many of these adverbs. A lot of them come before the verb itself, as in, I always take a shower. I occasionally go to the cinema. So I hope this video has helped you with adverbs of frequency. I hope this line chart has helped you out as well to gauge for yourself how often you do something. And again, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. If you have any video suggestions, please post them in the comments. I always love hearing from you guys. And until next time, have a great day.